Battlefield of Eternity, map number 1 that kicks us off today in the last chance qualifier. So we have 3 teams in the last chance qualifier, everybody, and well, it is going to be a little bit of a wild ride, because at the end of the day what we're really trying to do here is we are going to try and make sure that the best team out of the 3 is going to qualify for Miami. We had 2 teams already that got the ticket. So we had Washed Up in the first qualifier and the Bang Bush in the second qualifier make it to the main event. And now we have Team Copium, the Cats, and the Raiders. They are the teams that are left. And they are playing a double round robin with best of 5 matches. And the best team out of all of those is going to make it into Miami. So a lot of games, well, actually in total it's 6 best of 5s. But we'll see them quite a bit. And at the end of all of this, there is not going to be a doubt anymore who out of the 3 deserves the ticket. And if we honestly end up in some insane scenario where they're tied afterwards, what we're going to do then is just have some tiebreaker. But I don't really think that's going to be the case. So one more team is going to make it to the Heroes International. If you want to have more information about it, you can check out the link right over there. Again, it is an offline event that takes place in October, in the middle of October. With 3 North American teams, 3 European teams, and 2 Korean teams. And it's going to be absolutely epic to have all 3 regions represented once again at an offline event, and trying to see how the metas collide and everything. So it's going to be pretty awesome. If you want to check it out, make sure that you look at the link. Also, if you want to have more information, you're watching this on YouTube right now, I'm going to put links in the video description that you can have a look at as well. In our opening one, we got the Cats against the Raiders. It was already kind of funny because the first map was actually chosen by the Raiders, and when the Raiders were drafting the map, they all of a sudden picked Sky Temple. And I'm like, Sky Temple is an opening map. That's one that we haven't seen in quite a while, so that's interesting. And then immediately we had Sven going, the hell is this? I thought I had to ban one more map. I don't want to play this shit. And everybody was just laughing their ass off, and the Cats were immediately like, yeah, don't worry. You can take whatever you want. You can take that one back. So, yeah. So we're starting things off with Hanzo here in Battlefield of Eternity. For the immortal damage, we got Drachia on Diablo. Yrel and Genji as an opener. Now, is that going to trigger a ban on Anduin so that they can't light bomb the hell out of the blue team? Or what are the Cats going to prefer? We have bans on Li Ming. She's obviously quite solid in damage on the Immortal. Not because she does any kind of extra damage, but because in the stalemate situation, she's always getting value. When she throws a combo out from a distance against the Immortal, then you have only 2 options as the opponent's team. Either you let the combo go through, then the Immortal takes damage, or you eat the damage with one of your heroes, and then they are slowly whittling down your hit point pool, and there's obviously then kill opportunities. Anduin gets banned. No light bomb combo with Genji. But that leads us to the next double pick here, and well, time to show us a bit what they are waiting for now. Imperius, I like it, and we get Rhaegar. Okay. Imperius is sneaking lately a couple of appearances in. He's not getting played a ton. There was a time when Imperius was like the pick, or one of the big picks. But now we have this. So, final 2 picks for the blue team. What are we gonna get from them here? I mean, you still need your side lane. Now, Blaze is banned, Hogger is banned. You could still go... They go Artanis! What? I mean, they are handicapping themselves in the first game already, so that's kind of wild. I mean, really? They want to have the punching back? Alright, so Artanis is in. Let's see how that's going to work out. The crowd goes wild already, at least the quick match crowd. Viable, viable, viable. But yeah, so he's going to be shit on it a little bit. Then again, Greymane, I don't mind that as a pick, but Imperius main tank, really? Together with Yrel? When I saw Imperius being picked, I honestly thought that we're going to get a triple frontline for them, but we don't. So they're main tanking Imperius, which you can definitely do, obviously. But I'm not quite sure if that's going to work out for them. But then again, we have Artanis on the other side. Battlefield of Eternity, map number 1, everybody. Let's go. Best of 5, the Cats against the Raiders. Cats against the Raiders, game number 1. We got Drachia on Diablo, Octa on Artanis, Erath on Hanzo, Captain Rex on Brightwing, Mitra and Sylvanas. And over to the right side of the map, it's the Raiders with Sven on Rega, Ugi on Urel, G on Greymane, Galaxy and Imperius, and No Game, No Life is gonna play Genji. And honestly, I think because he pretty much never sees any real playtime, I haven't shit on Atanas for a while, so why don't we start the game off with that? So there's obviously going to be the people, once that he picks his talent, that are going to make the big arguments like, oh my god, Khaldor, you just don't understand. This hero is so good on Battlefield of Eternity. Don't you know his level 1 talent? And then if he gets the God Swap off, then, I mean, this is so good. And also his ult when he gets the laser beam. And like, but don't you understand, Khaldor? It's like so good. So, well, the problem with Atanas is still the same. The hero is just trash in competitive play compared to the alternatives on the lane. Now, I give them that on this one, at least, they had 2 bans on the side laner, so there's at least that. But you had Leo open, you have Thrall open, you could go into a full triple front line, you could go into all kinds of shit, and Atanas is just, at the end of the day, not really a big deal. Now, can they make him work? I mean, again, you can win a game, even, like, despite a hero pick, and honestly, it would be kind of funny if they actually win it. But as I said in the draft already, lots of the games where we saw Atanas so far, he's been absolutely dumpstered on. Imperius goes down, and again, I'm still questioning a little bit going for that particular front line that they have here, but you can't deny that they got a lot of immortal damage with Rhaegar, with Greymane, so yeah, that's at least quite a bit. So amateur opponent is in. Again, this is the talent that a lot of the quick match boys always highlight when it comes down to being Atanas being viable. Which, by the way, he isn't. So, yeah, you can get some extra damage in on the Immortal, but we'll see. And again, I feel I always have to throw that caveat in, guys. If you want to play Atanas in quick match, by all means, be my guest. The hero can be a lot of fun. There's no denying that at all. It's always just, is he useful compared to alternatives on the lane? And the answer there is not really. And he's already in trouble. I mean, they want to go for him, and it seems like yep, there it is. Atanas is dead right away.
Hail to the king, baby.
Good old Atanas. But again, the Cats coming in with a handicap doesn't mean that they can't win the game here, and I'm still waiting for that God Swap, so let's see if that's going to work out. I gotta give them one thing, they definitely blindsided the opponent's team a bit with the pick here, so let's see what they can do. But Atanas goes down pretty early. Let's not forget that Imperius has also been claimed. And with that, we're now having, at the same time, Honio and Erath doing their thing. So, we have the camps already claimed. And from that point onwards, it's going to be about Immortal number 1. Yeah, Galaxy even with the synergy here. Imperius was for a long time, by the way, main tank number 1 and got played in literally every single game. It was ridiculous. I think it was a year ago, I want to say, maybe 1.5. But lately you don't see him all that often anymore. I think we had him once or twice in a side lane position, but as a main tank he doesn't have a lot of popularity here. And honestly, if you go for a main tank, I would have still expected them to go for a triple front line, which they haven't done. And Galaxy gets punished again, so they do exactly the same thing that they did before. They focus Atanas down, there's not enough sustain for him, Rhaegar doesn't have an Ancestral yet, and that's the second time now that Imperius has been killed. Which opens, of course, a big opportunity up for the Cats as they're moving in for the Immortal. And I gotta say that the Raiders are struggling a little bit. I think from the 3 teams that we have now, the Raiders are probably the team that is going to struggle the most. I honestly gotta say that I think out of the 3 teams that we have in the last chance qualifier, each one of them is on a good day able to win the majority of the games and then advance. But out of all of them, I would say if I had to name an underdog, it would probably be the Raiders. We've seen great games from Copium, we've seen great games also from the Cats. I would probably say that the 2 of them are maybe a bit inconsistent at times in the way that they are playing those games out. But generally speaking, if I had to bet money on it, I would say that either the Cats or Copium are going to make it. But then again, there's a lot of games to be played, and I'm here for all of it. So if they can surprise us, then I'm not going to complain. So we have, again, another hero already taken down. Wait, was it Atanas that died? I actually didn't pay attention. Yeah, Atanas got shit on again. And Sylvanas died too now down at the bottom of the map. Seems like Imperius is trying to make up for the early deaths and is getting another connect, and that ends Brightwing. So they are able to take in total 4 heroes out. That still is leading to a lot of damage to the Immortal at the top. But even Diablo dies now. Even Diablo is now down. So yeah. 5 kills to 2. The Raiders, they are starting to get a little bit of advantage here. Artanis with the Solarite Reaper and the Shield Battery. And Octa is again on the move back right away. Now up at the top with Greymane, of course, they have a couple of really nice tools here to not only take the Immortal down a notch or two, but also to take camps. That's exactly what they're doing. They want to go for the low-hanging fruit again, aka Artanis. And they're trying to set that up at the top, but he's literally sitting behind the gate right now, at least behind the towers. So yeah. The bottom pressure on the other hand with Sylvanas, that's a nice rotation from the Cats, and it's gonna take some time for the Raiders to appear here, so that's good damage on the fort. Both of the forts on the red team side are now already damaged, and off we go. Structurally, they're ahead. I mean, there's no denying that. So structurally, they have taken the lead here. But with the kills and the leading experience, this should be a really good Immortal for the Raiders, because they're going to get the level 10. And then with level 10, there's of course the opportunity to dominate the Immortal and lock in the objective for the team. We'll see if that works. But yeah. I mean, right now, they're doing pretty alright. But level 10 abilities are going to change quite a few things. So another swap at the top. Genji got swapped over by Artanis. And in the meantime, Sylvanas is trying to simply pressure out the bot lane a bit because they know they can't fight without level 10 abilities. We get Bloodlust! Somebody has been watching the Korean games. And we got the Wrath of Anguirus now as well. Genji hasn't made a choice yet, but Greymane is just chunking away. There's the X-Strike. Oh, they try for Hanzo. Can't take him down right away, but he has the delivery system. And they go for Trash Tannis again. And guess what? He's dead. Not the pick, boys. Not the pick. How many times is that now? 3, 4? Honestly, I already stopped counting. But yeah, so Artanis is just getting murdered around a little bit. They're trying after the halftime show to now lock the objective in completely. And, well, down to the bottom, still a chance to maybe get some damage in on that fort, but they're of course trying to protect the Immortal here. It's the level 10. Level 10 is, again, it shuts down any kind of fight that you can possibly put up. So now we have 6 kills to 2. The Immortal has been taken. To give the Cats a little bit of credit here, they were at least able to reduce the shield a bit. And Artanis is going straight into the Suppression Pulse. We got the Lightning Breath in here. Brightwing is looking for friends. And they're leaving him alone at the top lane. Urel is now starting to move topside in order to deal with all of this. But nah, not just yet. Down to the bottom of the map. We have finally some pressure from them. Now Bloodlust is still up. So you can also go for that if you want. And I would expect them that eventually they're going to pull the trigger here, but now that Artanis is moving in, it's a 4 versus 4.5. Yeah, Urel is coming in, trying to turn it into a 5 versus 4.5. So yeah, he's already rotating over too, but they're not really going for it. So they had a bit of a chance here, but I guess they are pretty confident with that 1 level lead that they have. Getting the early level 13 would help. Dibbles gets caught just a smidge, but not really a problem just yet. Alright, things are gonna calm down here a bit. We currently have 23,000 damage for Genji. We got 15,000 for Sylvanas here, trailing behind a bit. Artanis has the most siege damage on the blue team with the 32,000. And talking about him, they wanted to drop him again and nearly got the kill here. They might still. Sven on Rhaegar was also nearly caught, so Brightwing was helping out this time to make sure that Octa doesn't die a 4th time. Down to the bottom of the map, it seems like Urel has overdone it a bit. Yeah, she might actually die. Yep, that... I don't really know why he went for his ult. I mean, he burned a 90-second cooldown now for a hero that's going to be back in 25 seconds. So I'm not sure if that was really the best... I mean... They got the kill, but was that really necessary? I kind of doubt it. Brightwing, look at those plays! Not only saving Artanis at the top, but now also saving Maitri down here at the bottom of the map. 5 versus 4, so they can pressure this a bit more. Level 13 is ready. Urel is now also slowly coming back here. They make a play for Diablo. Careful. Galaxy up at the front. And there's the delivery. Artanis is dead again. Yeah. I gotta say, that was a pretty nice move by Imperius, though. I mean, he literally aimed it where Tannis would be reappearing in a moment and then pulled him into the range of the fort. So that was nicely executed. Now we got a 5 versus 4. They let the camp go, but they won the halftime show victory. And nobody's gonna deny him that. So yeah, halftime show is gonna be taken. And then the only question is, can they get more? Blue team is trying to get level 13 and they have it, so now they can fight properly for this one. We got down at the bottom of the map, right wing. Still getting some extra XP for them, but now that the halftime show swap has happened, we'll see which team is pulling ahead here. Yeah, Urel, 22 seconds for the ult. Lightning Breath out. Bloodlust used. They can get to the fountain here. Sven is a little bit low, and the Artanis ult is also not connecting properly. So they're diving deep under this. Of course, Sylvanas is here too, but they still got to be careful because now once again we have a stun connecting from Galaxy as he comes in with Imperius. Mitra is low. Urel jumping in 2 seconds until her ult is back up. And everybody just moving back out. Nobody dying in that situation just yet. But of course, still an opportunity for the red team to lock in another Immortal and maybe push this a bit further. Finally take a fort down, which they are, by the way, damaging topside already quite significantly thanks to all of this. They're trying to also control our boy Hanzo here. And Mitra, careful. Yeah, Galaxy was thinking about the ult there for just a second. Not risking anything though. This now, they're already starting to come in again, and they take Genji. Nice. That's an important kill now. Hanzo getting the Genji kill here. That was well done. And that puts them into the driver's seat for a little bit and allows Hanzo and Artanis to go straight for the Immortal. And together, they're definitely packing a punch here. So this is a moment where the Raiders have to turn this a bit and try and poke at least from a distance. Maybe even try and go for a kill. They're going for Diablo, and that might be one. Drakia is low and gets delivered again. Arrow came out too. Artanis trying to save the day, but they're still gonna drop Diablo. Question is just, are they gonna lose someone too? And the answer is no. So, not enough value here, but they still could be an Immortal for the blue team. And now that they kill Imperius, it definitely will be. So, yeah, well done. And Imperius is a little bit of a mixed bag. He died 3 times already, but he also had a couple of really good moments for the team. Problematic for the Raiders that they're losing another objective. They're doing well still on experience and they're ahead in kills, but it's really the structural damage that makes this quite tricky for them. They are going to lose a fort now, for sure. They might even lose both. And they're still in the game, of course. And on level 16, I think we have both of the teams roughly at the same time on the same level. But it starts to become a little bit problematic. They need to get some of these objectives, or they're going to be in a world of pain as the game continues. Now, this one was a loss. Nothing to be done about it. They're not going to lose their fort. Sorry, their keep, not even close. The rotation towards the top by the blue team, on the other hand, could very well lead to the second fort also being destroyed. You can already tell that the Cats are not really making a big move for the bot lane any further after they got this. But, yeah. Immortal down, top fort will be taken. They won't be able to rotate fast enough. We got level 16 talents in. Can they barely save that? I think they can. Now, any kind of range damage would take that down, but still, 16 versus 16, and technically the fort is still standing, which is all that you need at the end of the day. We got the Celestial Swiftness, the Pathetic Mortals, and on the other side we got the Templar's Verdict. The Mace to the Face move, baby. So, camp is already taken. Bloodlust, of course, also up. They got pretty much all their ults. Urella's gonna have hers back in 4 more seconds. Are they making a move for one of the forts? They could try and go for it. Brightwing is down at the bottom of the map, but will of course then global in. Diablo is still a bit weaker because he lost his souls earlier, at least the majority of them. But yep, they're just pressuring out the bot lane now. Should probably keep somebody at the top. Okay, Genji. Arrow connects. Rhaegar is probably going to die here. Nice. That was a really nice play by Hirath. Hanzo, I gotta say, I did not believe in this at all. And especially the early lightning breath, I questioned that quite a bit. The reason why he used it is because they made the call and said they were going for the stun, so he just trusted into Hanzo. Hanzo betrayed him a little bit and hit that stun too late, so the lightning breath didn't do as much work as he hoped for. But Rhaegar still died. They still got it. Now, that is something that shouldn't happen. My try is dead too. But Genji dying here? I mean, are you kidding me? So they went in deep, and then when he was trying to move out, we simply had Sylvanas say no. Let's take another look at this one. So they're making the play for the top, and then my try with the big boy plays, just silencing Genji. There's no heal in that situation, and Genji dies. Yes, Sylvanas dies too, but that was still worth it. Now over here, they're trying to drive the entire fight again away from the Immortal by Atanis even using his ult. Again, they were already moving back anyways. That's a big cooldown though. Sorry, a big move. Big swap. But did it help them in any way? They're going for the fight with Bloodlust and they want Octa. He's low, slides in, out, gets stunned. Nice arrow. Hanzo has some sick plays here, but even that wasn't enough to save Atanis. So Atanis is dead again. 10 kills to 7. But I gotta say that the team on the macro level is just doing a bit better than the Raiders. They got again at the bottom of the map a double camp, a catapult. They need to save that keep, and that allows for a lot of time and space for the cats to go for the Immortal. There's the barbecue. They're baiting out a lot of ults, of course, but they also lost a lot of them. So they're trying to get some kills. It's the same. Oh, that could be big! Sylvanas! The fuck? Sylvanas alive, Diablo dead, and this time for the whole duration. But Mitra is making some incredible plays here. Yeah, that is big. But down here at the bottom of the map, the keep is still in play, and now maybe they can win this one. It's a bit of a frustrating game for the Raiders, I would assume. They're doing great in these team fights, and of course there were a couple of Mimi moments as when Genji died, but outside of that they're doing well. They're just really struggling with structural damage. Mitra is playing like crazy here. He's getting one good rotation off after another and always pushes for structures, burns these waves down, gets a couple of kills too. So very nice by them. But it's still an Immortal in favor of the Raiders. Not a big shield, but they should at least be able to get a fort now. So that's the first fort that they take down. That's going to alleviate some of the catapult pressure that's there. Top side is what they're focusing on. But let's see what they can do with that now. Because they should try and get Urel towards the top. She's pushing another wave out. I don't think she's going to make a play. Oh, well, I guess they're trying to go for a double fort. They could. No, not yet. The top fort is going to fall. They could have tried to make a play for the bottom one too, but I think they're looking for another kill here and see if they can maybe snowball this a little bit. Curly doesn't really look like it, but they're already making a bit of a rotation. Urel stayed at the bottom of the map, and they're aiming for both forts here. Which means that structurally they're technically even. Now there's more damage on the bottom right keep, but the Raiders are nearly on level 20, so with that they are hoping to get a bit more work done and maybe force a fight and get a kill. Hanzo and Greymane are the only two that haven't fallen yet. Level 20, the question is really, is it going to have a big impact here? Because on the one hand, you would assume that they are trying to force a fight. On the other, the gap isn't all that big, so the cats with a little bit of defensive play should be able to bridge it and then, yeah, really get there. Now, 5 deaths on Atanis already. We got now Seraphim in, we got the Gladiators washout. And with level 16, we got the Reflect, and here comes the Living Weapon. Time to party. They're opening the bottom wall up a bit. Half a level until the cats reach 20 themselves and have their own Storm Talons. So this is where the Raiders are going to try and see if they can maybe grab an early kill. If Imperius connects a good ult, they might be able to pull that one off. But on the other hand, they gotta be careful because Hanzo has been throwing out some fantastic arrows. Genji moving in, gets immediately caught. There's the Bloodlust. They're making the play for Hirath in the back, or at least they're trying to. And they gotta move back out. Atanis also using his own ult in order to shut that attack down a little bit. They tried, couldn't really make it work. And a lot of the timings here, I mean, you're now missing a lot of ults for the Immortal. But, of course, the same is true for the cats. Rhaegar with a minute on his own ult. Yeah, they should still have it. Bullseye's in, invisible friends. The orbital bombardment is in here as well. Blinds could definitely become a bit of a problem. And he has another charge, as is already. Always depends on how you drive the fight now. Lord of Terror, good bullet from Greymane. Once again, so yeah, chunking down Diablo quite a bit. And they are really pushing this right now. The defensive position is a bit easier here for the cats. So you gotta be careful, especially if Atanis is swapping somebody into a stun. That would be the dream. If it gets to that, then it will be tricky. They gotta deal with the camp at the bottom of the map too, and they are trying to do that right away, which triggers, of course, an attack by the blue team against the Immortal. So they are chunking this down at least a little bit. Not too much has happened yet, as they're both trying to poke. Uki gets attacked again, but there's the kill! Genji is dead. Nicely done. There's the barbecue. Here's the big opportunity. Rhaegar finally has his ult. They are using it, but they are trying to retreat with its help. So yeah, that is unfortunate timing for them. They poked this out a little bit too much. I honestly don't like what they just did there. Genji risking this and pushing in without an ult on Rhaegar. I mean, why would you do that? If you're really committing, then wait at least the 10 more seconds until Rhaegar has his ult back. Then they use Bloodlust to disengage. Now they gotta wait another 60 seconds before they can go for a proper fight. So the timing that we just saw here from the Raiders made absolutely no sense. I really think they could have played this a bit better. Even with the ult on Atanis, they can always dodge out a bit, try not clump up too hard. But yeah, that was unfortunate. Now, nice damage at the keep, don't get me wrong. But if that Immortal could end the game. Doesn't necessarily do that, but at least it could. So they're already retreating again. It's a 5 versus 4 that they're fighting. They're doing their best in the defense, but they haven't gotten a kill, and now Urel is dead. So I want to say that Genji engage earlier is what shut that down pretty heavily. But yeah, a little bit unfortunate for them. I really didn't like that timing. How many seconds was it on Rhaegar's ult? 5? 10? And then the attack, and then they had to use it to run away. It's like, that's not how you want to play around Bloodlust. If you want to play as more defensively, then go for Ancestral in the first place. And now that they have it back, this is desperate. They're desperately trying to get a kill because they know this could end the game. They're consistently locked into a 5 versus 4. Bloodlust used again to get them out of the fight. Imperius is dead. They're panicking completely here. Well, Hanzo played out of his mind, gets a triple kill, gets a quad kill. Nicely done. Yeah, great moves here by Hanzo, so good job by him. Is able to lock the entire team down pretty much at the end of the day. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you win a game despite Natana's pick. 5 times was the punching bag as usual, but with my try on Sylvanas and Hanzo, they definitely did a number on them. So yeah, nicely done. 13 kills to 11 at the end of the day. The Raiders panicking a bit towards the final team fights and snowballing hard. Always with one hero down at least, engaging in 1 4 versus 5 after another, and it is the Cats with a victory on the first map. GG, well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Towers of Doom, map number 2. Let's go. The Cats with the lead against the Raiders. The Raiders panicking a little bit towards the end of the game. It's honestly a little bit of a shame. I feel like it's a problem that a lot of the teams that are, I want to say, like second tier in Europe have. That in the late game, when it comes to decision making, they are struggling a bit. They oftentimes pull the trigger a little bit too early. And yeah, I mean, nerves obviously play a role. Adrenaline is pumping, but not coordinating a lot of these attacks around the cooldowns properly, that definitely oftentimes costs them. And then once you lose your first hero, you're playing a 4 versus 5, feel pressure to look for a kill. If you find it, then you can tie things up a little bit. But if you then lose another hero, then you're just getting consecutive kills or consecutive deaths on your end, and your opponent has a consistent 5 versus 4 advantage throughout the entire late game, and that is just something that can't happen. So we got Hanzo banned out and Hogger 2. We're now heading into Towers of Doom, so a very different map, and Sylvanas gets taken. No game, no life, locks it in for themselves. And I gotta give credit again to Hirath and to my try in the last map with playing Sylvanas and also Hanzo. Some insane plays made by the two of them, and Hanzo towards the end, what was it, a quad kill, or did he even get all 5 of them? It was pretty impressive. So yeah, big plays made. There's a couple of very good arrows too, with multiple stuns in big decisive moments during the team fights. And then Sylvanas with that neat little move that she had against Genji at the top was of course also pretty enjoyable. But with that we got a Brightwing, we got a Blaze, and Jojo plus Rhaegar now for the red team, with the final ones coming in here. Okay, final bans. So, what do we still have? What we would expect somebody to get rid of? I mean, you can still ban a tank out on the side of the for the Raiders. The Cats still haven't taken theirs yet. Could even play... I mean, they could go for a Greymane pick again. It honestly feels like the Raiders have watched a lot of the Korean games and have, with Rhaegar and the Bloodlust choices, adapted to it a bit and even go for Greymane a lot more than other teams do. So maybe they're just trying to emulate that a little bit. Or it has nothing to do with it, and it's just personal preference. That obviously works as well. But either way, we got Leoric banned out, so they're banning the side laners out. Urel is still up, and they played Urel already on the last map. Galaxy, this time with Janna. And Diablo gets banned, so again, it is that frontline ban that we already theorized about a little bit. Now it's Souls of Doom, there's still plenty you can take, ranging from Muradin, Stitches and whatnot, especially the French players, Masquerade and Nagrom lately have been picking a lot of Stitches here. But Muradin is still up, you could go for him, could even play Garrosh. I mean, you're not running out of main tanks anytime soon. So there he is, the Dwarf is in the house, budget Gimli has been chosen, and we get my try with Genji. Okay, that leaves us with Hirath for a bit more range damage. Final 2 picks for the red team on the other hand. So, what are they gonna do? Hesitating, that's what they're doing. They need a side laner, and need a little bit more damage. On the side lane, Urel, if they want to stick with the same side laner again. Oh, Vikings! Alright, baby! It is Viking time together with Li Ming. Alright, things are getting exciting here. I like it. Okay, where do they end up this time? Time for the Vikings, everybody. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Maybe a little bit of a risk. But this Hirath, how is he gonna try and counteract that? Not very much so far. It is Cassia! Alright everybody, with that it's time to shine. Towers of Doom, map number 2 in the best of 5 here. The Cats against the Raiders. First one in the double round robin. And yeah, this could be a solid one. Vikings against the Cats. Let's go. Game number 2, it's Viking time. The Cats against the Raiders. So on the left side of the map we got Drak here on Muradin. We have Ohonio on Blaze. Hirath is playing Cassia. We got Captain Rex on Brightwing and Maitrai playing Genji in this one. Sven on Rhaegar for the Raiders. We got Uki on the Vikings. Uki made a dookie in the last one. So, right now we got the explosive attacks as a level 1 choice. We got G on Li Ming, Galaxy on Janna, and No Game No Life is playing Sylvanas. So, off to a bit of an early game here. We can see what they're gonna do. I don't really expect too many big fights right now, because if we're playing with the Vikings, usually I'm not necessarily aiming for that. So, yeah, let's see. Oh, okay. I mean, Vikings are going to be chased a little bit. That is absolutely inevitable. Alright. A little bit of a story time. So again, today we went road biking again. So I was riding with a couple of my friends. And it's Saturday morning and we're meeting at 8 o'clock. And I... So I have to ride to the meetup point, right? And normally in the morning there's not a lot of cars around, there's a couple, but it's a pretty easygoing thing. So I ride to a red light, and it's a red light, and I stop with my bike. And all of a sudden I have a car pulling next to me, ignoring the red light, running it, and just continuing straight up. And I was already looking at the cars like, the fuck are you doing? So the guy runs the red light, goes over it, and I can see just a couple 100 meters ahead there's another red light, and this one is actually at a much bigger intersection. So the guy runs the next red light, the second one, and just goes over there too, and I'm like, what a fucking moron. I'm already thinking like, what an idiot. And I know that route pretty well because it's my standard route to the meetup point, and I know that this is a long straight and there's a lot of traffic lights. And I just continue, and after the light turns green, and I catch that guy 2 lights later at another big intersection where he actually had to stop the car. And I was standing behind him, and I'm just standing behind the car, and I'm just, just clapping my hands. I'm like, yeah, great, dude. You're running 2 red lights already at a minimum. You probably ran the 3rd one as well. And now you're standing here at the same traffic light I do. Fantastic. Person in the car gets the window down, flips me off, and yeah, it's just being an asshole. And flips me off, and just like waves me away, and then as the light turns green, is going for like the bye-bye move and starts to drive with the car. And I'm like, what are you talking about bye-bye? There's another 5 lights coming up that you cannot run because they're big intersections. So the guy runs the next light again. This is the 3rd or 4th red light that person has now run, okay? And has to stop at the next light. And I see that, and I was like, yeah, I'm coming up behind you right now. So I pulled up next to the car, and I was like, all right, let's see how this is going to play out. Pull up next to the car. Person tries to immediately up the window. It's a woman, and next to her is her fucking son. And all of a sudden, she starts yelling at me, and I'm like, you dumb bitch. Like, what the fuck do you want? You just ran 3 lights right in front of me. I actually, at some point, pulled my phone out and acted like I was recording her running the red light. I didn't have the camera on, actually, but, I mean, she didn't know that. So she starts yelling at me, is getting completely annoyed. I yell back, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you yelling at me for? You just ran 3 red lights immediately in front of me. So fuck off. All of a sudden, people around us notice this and look at it, and she changes her behavior completely. It's like, I don't know what's happening. This crazy cyclist is yelling at me for no reason, and I have my son in my car. Rega actually is dying. And like, talks to this guy, even my son is in my car. It's like, yeah, you dumb fuck. Your son is in your car, and you're running 1 red light after another and engaging in some weird street fight bullshit because you don't know that you just can't simply escape here. Sylvanus is dead too. I'm still finishing that story. I don't give a shit. 2 kills to 0. So the end of the story is, like, she pretty much drives on. I had to stay behind her in the car for another, like, 2 or 3 intersections. At some point, I drive to the side again. She obviously shut the fuck up completely a long time before. And the second that I have to veer off, she puts the window down again and starts yelling, calling me an asshole, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, what did I do? I did nothing. You ran 3 red lights and only stopped when I faked recording you and then yelled at me for no reason. Some people are fucking insane over here. So yeah, great morning. Fantastic morning. Oh boy. I was just sitting there dumbfounded. I was like, the fuck is going on here? 1 red light. Like, think about this. This dumb bitch had her son, 5 years old or something, in the car next to her and behaves like that. Think about if you're the son. I mean, either you're fucked because that's your mom, or you're just sitting there embarrassed as hell. I mean, honestly, at this point, we got... Ooh, that would be an embarrassing 3rd kill if they get now Jojo too. What a transition. Woo! It's like the guy does that for a living. Fan-fucking-tastic. But yeah, either way. So we got at level 9.5, we got 2 kills. So far it was a traditional early game. We had 2 of the altars channeled by the radar, so this is where the stuff gets good. I mean, sometimes the stories have to come out. My apologies, but yeah, either way. We have the Vikings now. So with the Vikings and also the rotations that they're having, they might even get the kill against Blaze now. That would be their first one, and I think this one they're gonna lock in. But the more important part is that this is where the game starts to really take up some extra speed, because now the Vikings have level 10. Now you can engage into a couple of fights if you really wanted to. So yeah, off we go. We got with the olds, the Vikings with a traditional play again. No surprises here. I mean, also Rhaegar this time with the Ancestral over going Bloodlust again, of course. We also have the Bunker out, Avatar for Muradin, so it's nothing really shocking in regards to the choices. The channel already happening, it's a single altar this time, and it's 2 for 2 in general, so both teams on 32 points now. But with Sylvanas, you can still try and go for this bell tower transition, and that's what they're trying to do. So they're trying to take that. Yeah, there's also the Blessed Shield, as they're trying to make a little bit of a play. And yeah, even with the Blessed Shield, they couldn't lock anybody in to get the actual kill. What worries me a little bit is that Blaze is having such a great time at the top that he's pretty much reconverting that bell tower. So they should have a 4 versus 5 in just a second. Sorry, 4 versus 3 situation in just a second. But yeah, there's a little bonkers there. And he went deep for it, so he got it. He got it, and he's also getting the Viking kill. So that honestly shouldn't really happen. But at least teammates are pushing through the bot lane pretty aggressively in an attempt to get that bell tower too. And they're not too far away from making that happen. So even if it doesn't just now, eventually they should be able to make that one work. Alright. Yeah, I might try already rushing away here. But yeah, off we go. Now, by the way, to be fair, because I know there's going to be a couple of guys, you know, that like, a couple of drivers that immediately like, it's like, but cyclists do shit too. It's like, I was like fully aware of that. A friend sent me a video that apparently was in the Spanish news. Oh, the save! Murden! Yeah, that was close, my friend. Avatar and Brightwing saved the day here for him. That could have backfired pretty heavily. I guess the video story has to wait a moment. But the Vikings are trying to retake the top. I mean, if you're playing Viking, you're obviously going to try and control the macro game. And especially once that we have multiple bell towers on the map. Later on 3 with a 5th wave. That's really the moment where you normally want to shine. Yeah, Ancestral already taken. Couple of the Vikings still being taken down here. And the channel. And it's happening. Wow, nice. But it's a little bit weird to me how they allowed the second channel or the channel of the blue team to go through. Normally you want to have one of the Vikings just interrupting this time and time again. That didn't happen. So on the Viking side, I gotta say that it shouldn't have been this easy for the blue team to get an ult on their own. And now Sylvanas is there just after they killed Mirrodin, so they're trading kills again on level 13. So yeah. But yeah, either way, so for the crowd that hates cyclists just in general and always loves to point out that they're stupid cyclists too, that's absolutely true. There's a video that made the rounds, not only in my group, and believe me, we all agree there are some idiot cyclists out there. So there's a descent pretty much, and there's like a car, and the guy in the car films a cyclist that is in front of him that follows another car. So it's pretty much like a descent, and it has a couple of like corners and everything. And the corners are a little bit tight, and you can't really see the traffic that is incoming. And the car in front of the cyclist wasn't really too fast, so the cyclist was just stuck behind it and was trying to get somehow past the car. But it was really in one of those areas, you know, where you just have to let the car go, and you just have to accept that you're not going to be able to overtake him because you just can't see what's going on there. So the cyclist is always like going onto the other lane a little bit, and he's checking, which is totally fine, by the way. I do that too when I can see the road. And then if there's a short flat, for example, because the thing is, people that are riding a bike can corner much faster than a car. But yeah, so I do that too when I can see the road perfectly. And then if there's a small short stretch, I go past the car, I speed up to 50-60 kilometers per hour, go past the car, and then I can, you know, ride all of the corners a lot faster, and I'll take a big lead. But that guy couldn't see the road, and it was pretty obvious from the video. And the guy that records the video is complaining about the stupid cyclist. They're absolutely fine, by the way. The guy was an idiot. But the inevitable happens. The cyclist tries to overtake the car in a fucking corner. There's an ongoing traffic appears. The guy that comes from the front like breaks a little bit, and the cyclist still collides with him and falls over his bike. And it's the dumbest thing I've seen in ages. It was ridiculous. And it's also ridiculous, like interrupted, come on. We have 29 points to 23 right now. I mean, the action is heavy at this point. So interrupt them. Vikings with a retake. I like it. Now they bought some time for this. And now they're going to get the channel. Okay, now we're talking. Vikings with some value. Level 16 talents gives us also the large and in charge. So here we go. 16 also a bit of a lead. And boom! Straight on the core. Yeah, it's pretty much dead even on core points. The big difference right now is the advantageous situation in regards to bell towers for the Raiders. And they got level 16. So they got that too. But yeah, now we got another quick play for Genji at the bottom, but he was able to move out fast enough. But it seems like now the momentum train has definitely shifted a little bit. Earlier we had just the superior numbers in terms of kills for the cats, and they really capitalized on that. They were farming the Vikings also hard. But right now it seems that it flows a little bit better for the Raiders. It honestly should be very, very difficult with Vikings in the game to get an altar for the other team. Brightwing gets taken out as the shots connect, so that's a double whammy. You lose points on the core and you lose your support for another 36 seconds. So that push is very risky, and they are moving away. They're just escorting the pumpkins in. That's the best they could hope for. Oh, Blessed Shield misses as Genji moves off to the side. Still super low and got actually silenced by Sylvanas. That timing was nearly perfect, but they just couldn't make it work. So still a chance to go for another bell tower here with our girl. So let's see if they make that happen. Yeah, there's the push. Should be able to take this one. And it's a triple altar phase right now. That's worst case scenario for the cats at this point in time. If this one gets taken, then this is an absolute disaster and a nightmare. And they might just be able to save it. But the Vikings should really now get in position. Don't lose heroes now! Like, boys! Are they actually throwing this again in the late game? The cats, they see an opportunity, they jump in, they get a double kill, and it all happens as the triple altar phase appears. And yep, the channel has happened over there too. Yeah, that's a disaster. And why is there no Viking trying to interrupt at any point? Not on the left, not at the bottom. Vikings get destroyed. They're all clustered up at the top. Bunker up. They're trying to get at least one. This is disastrous. Guys, this could have been game. This could have literally been game if they're not losing half the team here. So now they lost all the Vikings. They're not getting a single one out of these altars. This is ridiculous. The Raiders, they are choking. They're absolutely choking. They already had a bit of a problem in game number 1, and now it seems to be a very similar situation in the second one as well. 19 to 18 points. At least Liming gets a kill on Blaze. Now that shouldn't have happened either. So on the cat side, there was also a bit of a faux pas. But here's the channel. So all 3 get taken. That's only 6 shots fired, so it's not a whole lot. But it still gives them a lead with 18 to 17. And honestly, there was no reason for them to go that deep on the push. So, yeah, that's disastrous. And it's not really about the shots to the core of the red team. It's about how many they missed against the opponent. That's the big problem here. They could have ended the game and taken a mad lead. Now, they got Cassia, so that works. And they get another 3 connected. But if they are not careful and make more mistakes like this, then this is going to be a pretty tough sell. So it's still a 5 versus 3 bell tower situation, so they're still ahead. They of course also have a half-level lead that they're currently rolling with. And they're moving back into the mid lane to retake what is theirs. So yeah, there's the opportunity now. 7 kills to 5. And well, Vikings are still pushing the top lane out. Also, some of the Vikings are down here. How does Eric die to Brightwing? I mean, come on, Dookie. Eric dies to Brightwing at the bot lane. And right now, they got the level 20, so they have it half a level ahead. They couldn't take the bell tower in the middle. The next altar is a single altar on the map, 15 to 17 points. And once that we have level 20 for the cats, like, I'm a little bit worried about the Raiders, I'm gonna be honest. I think not getting a single one of the altars in the previous rotation is a big issue. They would be at single digits if they had at least taken 1. And as I said, they could have gotten even more than that. So as it stands now, what do we have? We got level 20, yep, Storm Talons on both sides. The living weapon is in the house, the invisible friends too. And on top of that, we get the Titan's Revenge here. But yep, they are going to look for these fights. Vikings can really help you now. Especially, of course, with the Fury of the Storm here. So if you just continue the pressure, that's going to be very helpful if you split them out properly. Another 3 shots fired, so it's really those pumpkins that are making it difficult for the cats. I mean, how many pumpkins was that now in total? 12? 9? Something like that. But yeah, they're trying to make a play for Blaze. Gia with one move after another, and Calamity helping him to really boost the damage even further. They're trying again, and that's a kill. It's a double. They get 2 kills, and Rhaegar with a great heal here. The triple kill against the blue team. And now they get Brightwing. 5-man team wipe. All of them dead and dying, and now they can just get every single bell tower here. They can convert the entire thing. Great play by them. They can go for the boss. Honestly, at this point in time, the world's your oyster. You can literally decide how you would like to end the game, but as it stands, it seems this is going to be a big win through full control on these bell towers. They're going to get every single one of them. The Vikings, they can start the channel, which is exactly what they're doing here, and that is a tie in the series. Nicely done, well played. Yeah, and a great job here by the Raiders. They had a couple of very iffy moments that should have... I mean, this shouldn't have been this close, but they are winning it pretty handily towards the end, thanks to that 5-man team wipe. Full barrage here, full force, and that is a tie in this best of 5 series. The first one of the double round robin that we have at the last chance qualifier for the Heroes International. Garden of Terror, map number 3, the Raiders, nearly with another hiccup in game number 2, but the 5-man wipe sealed the deal. The Cats couldn't win the fight, and then they went down in flames. Now we're heading into Garden of Terror, the third map of the best of 5 series, with a clean slate, more or less. It's an interesting one. It's a very, very interesting... I mean, again, it's going to be a little bit wild, I think, over the next couple of days between the 3 teams here. We got a lot of games between them. I mean, 6 in total. They play each other twice. And I really think there's going to be a couple of surprises, because already we've seen quite the plays here. Today, by the way. Tennis won and the Vikings won. The funny thing to me is that actually Hazu is following a lot of the games here on his own stream too. And he's obviously the Vikings player, or has been a Vikings player for pretty much every single team that he's been playing for. So he's been playing them for Team Liquid. He's doing it also for the Hardos, for Washed Up. It's not like they're playing them a lot, but whenever they do, he's the one. And some of the... You could really tell that occasionally a Vikings player for the Raiders was maybe a bit overwhelmed. Losing Eric to Brightwing at the bottom of the map while nothing else is going on might have been a little bit too much. This time Hogger doesn't get banned out, which is mind-blowing to me. I'm like, what? Hogger is not banned and therefore immediately picked as a first pick here. I could have gone for Blaze, but they lock it in instead. They get Brightwing too. I like the pick rotation a lot, but they would prioritize the Diablo ban over the Hogger ban honestly surprises me. Hogger has big value on this map because, again, you get the camps in a very fast manner and can solo take every single one of them, so that allows him to exert enormous pressure on the lanes. Sylvanas has been banned, and so Lucio. It makes perfect sense. Again, at the end of the day, you really can play a very heavy macro style on Garden of Terror. And right now we got Greymane. I was just about to mention Greymane as an option for the Raiders. Didn't necessarily think that the Cats would lock him in immediately, but they do. So here we are. Dracula, Greymane, and Hogger. Yeah. You know who would really thrive in the Nexus? Every single time I'm looking at these portraits, I can't help but think that if you're a dentist, you have a glorious future in the Nexus. I mean, look at Greymane, look at Hogger. There's like one over or under bite after another. Then you have people like Gul'dan and Thrall making an appearance. I mean, can you imagine how much fucking money you would make if you all of a sudden come in as a dentist in the Nexus? It's glorious. You mean you would swim in that shit. If they ever make a new character, I hope it's a dentist. I mean, there's so many ults and abilities that you could also go in, and then you could have one of your ults have, or level 20, you could be like throwing money at the opponent, just like coins and flipping them or something, because you make so much cash just treating everybody's over-underbite and all of that. Muradin with the candy Muradin, he must have shitty teeth. You know that he needs a root canal or two. And Varian, why do you think he's yelling all the time? I mean, obviously he's embarrassed by his son Anduin, but I mean, he's yelling all the time. That man has massive, massive pains. That's what it is. Imperius and Maiev also in. And yep, that is probably going to be a main tank Imperius again for them. I don't think they're going to swap anybody else in. We got Anduin now. But Blaze, Imperius, and this time they have Maiev, so they at least have a little bit more frontline, but No Game No Life still needs to have some range damage for them. Now, oftentimes he's the one that plays Genji for the team, and Genji is technically still up, so they could also go down that path, but they definitely need someone that can also chip in a bit of damage from afar. Maiev can also cleave from range, I suppose, but still comes more than melee. And it's Jaina! A lot of stuns and a lot of burst damage now all of a sudden, and Jaina also good to take camps. She has really good camp clear. Garden of Terror. Map number 3, everybody. The Cats against the Raiders. Let's go. Here we go. Left side of the map of Garden of Terror. We got Captain Rex on Anduin. Hirath on Greymane. Mr. Octa on Hogger. We got Drakia on Muradin. And Maitri on Cassia. At level 1, the charge strikes coming in. Towards the right side of the map, the Raiders with Sven on Brightwing. We got Yuki on Blaze. And Imperius is played by Galaxy with No Game No Life, gracing us with Jaina again. She has actually made an appearance a little bit more frequently recently. It's not getting played a ton, but still every now and then she pops up, especially on Garden of Terror, where her wave clear is also helpful for the camps themselves. G on my F, and with that we're headed straight for the third game of the series. And we're back to business. Okay, whatever the problem was, it has been resolved. I think all that it was that one of the players wasn't here yet. So, well, as we're headed off into game number 3, this is obviously where one of the two teams will pull ahead and take the lead in the series. We got in the middle of the map the bunch of them. Greymane, great for... I mean, there's a lot of camp clear, honestly, on both sides right now. Specifically, when you look towards the red team, Hogger and Greymane stand, of course, out. And on the other side, you have, as explained before, Jaina with a lot of AoE that she can bring here, too. And, well, we'll see who is able to lock in the victory here. A lot of time also for Copium to scout the opponents a bit and get a bit of an idea of what's going on there. On level 1, we got now the Lingering Chill. And, well, in the meantime, in the middle of the map, we have the camp, or the mini-wave burned down pretty quickly by the red team, so they're rotating towards the top. And Maitri needs to make sure that he's not going to get caught by this, and I think he is dead. There's the tether, there's the damage, and goodbye. Yep, that's a bit too quick. Too greedy on the lane, tried to push that out further. Didn't get the memo, apparently, that everybody disappeared from the middle of the map, and that's an easy first blood for the Raiders as they take Cassia down. Absolutely no chance there. The second that the tether connected, she was doomed. Nothing that they could do at that point anymore. So right now, we have a tiny lead for them. And they're also working on the first few camps. In this case, it's the Bruiser's camp that they're going for first, as explained earlier. This is the map where, with good camp control, you can really put a lot of pressure onto your opponent and just try to pull ahead. If you're diligently taking them time and time again, then the camp pressure alone can absolutely crush these lanes. It's one of the reasons why Sylvanas is also banned out here, simply because she is so incredibly powerful. And one of the reasons why we're oftentimes seeing the Fleabag, seeing Hogger banned out, for example. But as there's only 2 defenders up at the top, at least the wall is lost. Now Muradin is coming in and helps out a bit and is able to help zone them out. Arcane Intellect on level 4 now for Jaina. And down at the bottom of the map, there's also a bit of camp action happening as Brightwing is starting the assist. But they still have to take down that Bruiser camp, and I guess we're going to see a few more structures fall. Unless Jaina, yeah, actually makes it there in time. Hogger with good timing. A moment later, it wouldn't have been in trouble. That jet propulsion stun would have been the end of him. Up at the top, though, Greymane is crushing it. Gets then again tethered into the tower range and takes some damage. Now, it's not enough to facilitate a kill here for the red team, but it's definitely helping them out a bit. Now, down to the bottom of the map, we have the first seed already in play. So it's time to work on those garden terrors. And, well, here we go. The first one already taken. I can't get over the fact, by the way, that Blizzard called them initially the Garden Horrors. And everybody, like, apparently, if you missed that story, so Blizzard initially didn't call them Garden Terrors, but instead of the word terror, they went for horror, because they're like so horrifying. as we get another kill. So Jaina is actually doing some work. The problem is that when the first game was casted, apparently whenever people talked about Garden Horse, it sounded not so much terrifying, but rather that Blizzard is going to start a bit of a pawn division or something. And so they had to rename that very quickly. But that story alone absolutely made my day. They're trying to get the 3 Garden Horse! I was like, yeah, Johnny Sin says hello. He's gonna cast him in his next video. So, 2 kills to 0. We got level 7 in. The Talons keep kicking, and of course now with another seed spawning, they're gonna make a play for them too. With level 7 Talons, we got the Ice Flurs right now. We have Grey Mane at the top tethered, but they couldn't connect the follow-up, so no chance for them to get a kill. That would have been awesome. If they get the kill there, the second seed is theirs as well, I suppose. But teams still rotating slowly. We got down to the bottom of the map. Yeah, still our 1v1 on the side lane. There's another camp up, and they're starting to take that quickly. But off we go. So, can they go for the camp? Do they want to go for the camp? I mean, the position is definitely better for the cats, and I think they're going to let that one slide. Doesn't really seem like they're going to make a move for it, and therefore it's just a seed for each team. So, yeah, everything still Gucci. And with that, we have a rotation towards the bottom of the map as they're trying to catch another one. And this could happen. They're trying to get the tether. They do. And goodbye, Fleabag. So that's the 3rd kill in a row now for the Raiders. And the Cats, it's time to worry a little bit. Now, they have still Cassia at the top, so they get some value out of this, but it's 3 kills to 0. And at some point, they definitely have to shake that off a bit because they are getting farmed. And with a half-level lead, that might not seem like a lot, but eventually that's going to lead to a level 10 that might just empower you to steal an opponent's camp away, gain a bit of momentum, maybe work on the objective and take the 3rd seed. Whatever it's going to be here, they will pull ahead a little bit. And it's time for the Cats to buckle up and get ready for those heroic abilities, because here we are. We got, first of all, the Wrath of Anguirus again. We also got the disc this time. And they are already looking to work on the next one. No ring, but instead the water elementals, so they have even more control. Gia's just waiting for somebody to fall into that little trap here. But in comes the light bomb, level 10 for both sides, and I guess they're going to make a battle for the seed after all. Or are they? No, they're not. They're a little bit too late to this. Yeah, Mirrodin is hopping out. So it's 2 seeds against 1, which means that the next one could theoretically spawn the objective for the Raiders. It's not a big lead, but again, this can explode quickly, and not a single kill yet for the blue team. No confidence there either. Yeah. Jaina at least got crushed a bit down here at the bottom of the map, but she's already fine. And now towards the top, what do we got there? We got Maitri going up against Galaxy. So yes, the 2 of them. Stormbolt dodge, turn around, double stun, and there's the kill. With ult, they get the kill down at the bottom of the map. Both Sven and No Game No Life are still fine, and this is bad news for the blue team. Now they're suffering even more damage on Drakus, Mirrodin at the top. And of course, they're trying to get the kill here too. But even if they just get the seed, that would be a big win, because it would be the first objective of the game and allow them to take some of the structures down. So already, we got Gia occupying all of this. We have Cassia back, so if they buy a bit more time, they can make that play. And since nobody rotated down, they won't be able to go for this. So how do they play this now? Brightwing comes in to help out, but Jaina, yeah, she's rotating. I was for a moment thinking that they might just try to go for the bottom fort instead and let that seed go, but they're fighting the battle regardless. Jet propulsion is missing as Greymane is jumping out. They're still battling it out a bit further as they're pushing for Maiev and also isolating Jaina a bit. So they're driving a wedge between the opponent's team composition. Here comes the light bomb, but that one didn't do anything. Jaina already moving back out. The ult of Cassia is also gone, and now with the water elemental, they're putting additional pressure on Mirrodin. But I have no idea why he goes that deep. Bit careful. Shouldn't really chase them too hard, especially when there's 3 around of them. C can still be taken, and now they're working on it. There's the jet propulsion! And Mirrodin gets out. Mirrodin gets out. They're still pressuring these lanes out. And it seems that this is gonna be the web wave number 1. The Garden Hoser in the game, everybody. So, party time. And they have level 13 with this too. So it's 4 kills to 0. Level 13, the talent lead is there. And they got the objective. The Raiders. They choked a little bit in the first game. And they had definitely 1 or 2 awkward moments on the second map as well. But it seems like they are the one that built up momentum here. And they're getting better and better. Can make an argument that they could have won the first map too. And in that case, this would have been, or could have been, the first match point for them. But as it stands, the Cats are struggling to find a foothold in the third game. So if they're not pulling this off, then they're going to fall behind and will have to face off against the Raiders in at least 2 match points for the red team. So one of the forts is already gone. The one at the top lane is down to 50% HP. There's still a lot of camps that could be grabbed now too. Early objective didn't really do a whole lot for them yet, but Maiev is busy again at the camps, down to the bottom of the map. They're trying to do the exact same thing, I suppose. But, yep, it's getting spicy. Getting quite interesting here. 13 versus 13. And when do we get to see the first kill for the Cats? Well, they're still trying to invade, but they're a bit too late. I mean, up to now, the teams have been just splitting very amicably the map down the middle. So nobody has invaded the other side to try and take camp and upset the balance. Muradin, Water Elemental is out, okay. Mirror who? Exactly. Somebody just got shit on. I mean, holy hell. And now there's the slow, and goodbye, Anduin. Time to say goodbye. There's no way he's gonna get out of this one. I mean, he's trying, but Babyface is dead. 6 kills to 0. It's farming time. The disc against Greymane. There's the stun, and he's dead as well, including the special sound effect. So that's a level 16 talent lead, 1.5 levels ahead. Another seed is spawning. They took the second fort down. Hogga is trying to repay them kind of up at the top, but they're already rotating in. And I guess he is going to have a bad day too. Nah, that's not enough damage here. So yeah, they can annoy him a little bit, but he didn't make any mistakes. He's going to escape down to the bottom of the map now. After the siege giants pushed for the bottom keep, we now have, on the other hand, also another seed taken. And that is, I want to say, not the 4th in a row, but it is the 4th for the team. And Hogga is still playing this out at the top. I'm actually a little bit surprised that he's just sticking this out, because Anduin is now moving in, but they're trying to go for Muradin. Drag here. Are they going for the kill? Can they? Do they connect another stun? Where are those cooldowns when you need them? Shockwave! But they can't go. They can't go and make the play for him, not this time. Level 16 talents obviously makes it nearly impossible for the Cats to fight this. Hello? There's the first blood! Jaina got a little bit too cocky, huh? But at least Greymane dies for his sins. They are focusing this on Imperius on the other hand. The Galaxy is somehow still alive, trying to remove himself from the fight, and is able to get into the bunker too. Galaxy is still on the move, and is again jumping out. The fuck is happening? Cassia is dead, so is Hogga. Stormbolt misses, and Galaxy is still alive, and they nearly got a kill on Muradin now. We're looking at 10 kills to 1. All of this happening without level 16 talents for the Cats. A disaster for the blue team. Now, they are already abandoning the idea of going for the seed, but you can bet your ass that we're going to see the red team make a move for it, and this is going to be the second seed to their name. But this was kind of bananas. I mean, look at this fight. Cassia falling, and then it always seems like there's at least one hero dying on the Raiders side, and it never happens. Hogga dies shortly after, and now they go for another C. 10 kills to 1 in total. 26,000 damage by Jaina, 24,000 by Greymane. It's insane. Anduin is also dropped super quickly in HP. Now, he survived at least for now. But look at Cassia. She's again in trouble. And that's another kill. They're farming them. They're absolutely farming them. The Raiders with another hit. I mean, damn, son. The hell is happening here? The Raiders are going through the Cats like hot butter through cheese. It is bonkers. Game number 3, probably the most dominant so far from the Raiders, taking another fort down. That would make 3, so not a single outer defense post is standing anymore, and now they're invading camp after camp here. This is getting ridiculous. And with the seed up again, not only, I mean, first and foremost, the leading experience. 19 to 17, that's a full 2-level lead at this point. Unless the blue team is getting some mad kills now, they're not going to bridge this anytime soon. And we have another seed popping up, so this could be the second objective on this map for the Raiders. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm a little bit afraid for the blue team now. This is not looking good. And now they're missing the shockwave here on Ogre. Octa nearly dead to that. They're going for Hogger, they take him down, and now the attempt to make a play for Murden to Dracula with the Avatar. And my man is on the run, and it still doesn't matter. He dies. He gets burned to a crisp by Blaze. And Anduin, he's also gone. 14 kills to 1. This is likely gonna be game. With level 20 and an objective, plus the push through the top lane now with at least a double camp. Yeah, have fun trying to defend this. This is going to be a slaughter. At least it should be. Unless, of course, Galaxy is going to get crushed now. Went into a little bit too deep. It's a bait all along. Galaxy, a master baiter. He made it happen. Greymane, he was full, took the bait, jumped in. And now they don't only take him down, but they are also dropping Cassia. And this is definitely going to be it. You have now Garden Terror in the middle of the map, going for the second key, but the core is wide open, and it is time to say goodbye to the Cats in this third game. Yeah, this is I mean, there's no way to save this anymore. The lead for the Raiders as we are moving to game number 4. It's inevitable. 17 kills to 1. They absolutely stomped them. And, well, that's match point number 1. The Raiders with the victory on Garden of Terror. Map number 4, first match point. Cursed Hollow is the map as we are heading into the 4th game in this best of 5 series between the Raiders and the Cats. Now, as I said earlier, this is the first out of 6 best of 5s in total that the 3 remaining teams are playing against each other. Double round robin, the Raiders, Team Copium, and the Cats. And through this, it will be decided which team goes to Miami. The offline event in October with North American, European, and Korean teams. So it is going to be pretty spicy. And right now, the Raiders are doing better and better. It seems as the series continues, they're finding their rhythm. And if they can somehow get rid of these late game jitters that they seem to have in some of their late game performances, then I think they're going to be a serious contender for this. As I said already earlier, personally I think that generally speaking the Cats and Team Copium are a bit more experienced here and are teams that I would definitely put ahead of them. But so far the Raiders are doing well. Now, they have these moments, and we had that in game number 1 and game number 2, where it seems to be really getting a bit dicey for them. Garden of Terror was a lot cleaner. If they can bring the same momentum and spirit now into Cursed Hollow, then it's going to be very tricky for the Cats to get anything done here. So, there we are. But off we go. We got Hogger Band, we got Hanzo Band, and they really, really, really hate that Diablo by Dracula. They really do. I mean, damn. Time and time again, they're banning him over any other hero. Cursed Hollow is, of course... we haven't seen Dehaka, by the way, today. So Dehaka is another hero that you could always see on the side lane on a big map, and this one is another one where he could have an impact. Then also we have, on top of that, the bosses that can be fought over, maybe even Tyrael making an appearance. He's been played quite a bit as a main tank, and also as a bit of an assassin-style side laner, by Nick, for example, in the recent past. So Blazer's the first pick. He's the first one that gets taken here. And yeah, for the red team. Falstaff, there's the Haka. I mean, called it. Falstaff could technically also be played later. So if they are worried about the global pressure that the Raiders can now bring to the map, then Falstaff would be a nice counter pick here. With that particular opening, I also don't really think that Vikings are going to become an issue any longer. Because initially when the map was chosen, I was thinking, maybe we're going to see a Vikings ban. Maybe the Raiders are threatening that again after they already played it on Towers of Doom. But not so much. So with the Haga taken, not going to happen here. We got Sylvanas and Muradin. And Muradin himself now again played by a Drakia, so this is his go-to whenever Diablo is banned out. Didn't work out so well on Garden of Terror though. But what are we gonna see on the ban side? Genji's still up, Anduin is still up. Could be taken, if anything, by the cats. Galaxy's frontliner is also something that I'm a bit interested in. And they're banning Sergeant Hammer. Yeah, they're not taking any risk with this one. The problem that you oftentimes run into if a team picks Hammer and Sylvanas is that they can push on 2 lanes at the same time, and then you always have to rotate, and you need to make sure that you can match that particular push properly, and that can be a real problem, even when you're running globals the way that they are doing right now. So banning Hammer, definitely not a bad choice. And Genji gets also eliminated, so they're getting rid of that to make sure that No Game No Life can't play him. Again, match point number 1. If the Raiders take it, then they've decided the first best of 5 in all of this in their favor. And that would go a long way. And let's not forget, it's not only about winning those series. There is a good chance that we're going to see teams tied towards the end. And map wins will be, map ratio will become also a factor. And they're going into Falster too. They're really going full global on them right now. We got Imperius and Falster together with Brightwing and Dehaka. So Galaxy again with the main tank Imperius, still holding strong to this pick. And they can rotate like crazy now. So if they're playing a full-on macro game on Cursed Hollow, they have some big options. And Falstad gives also control with the Gust over the thingy, the boss spawn. Yeah, the boss pits. Rega and Lunara. Bambi got banned out earlier. Now she's getting some action. That leaves us with our final pick for the red team. No game, no life. So, what are we getting? Yeah, this could get wild. I mean, again, they're a little bit on the squishy side on some of those picks, but they need a bit more damage here. What are the Raiders going to do? Can they win this with a 3-1? They go for Junkrat. Junkrat in the house. Ladies, let's go. Map number 4, the first match point. Can the Cats turn it around and force game 5? Or are the Raiders deciding the first best of 5 series in their favor now? Let's find out on Cursed Hollow. Game number 4. The Cats against the Raiders on Cursed Hollow with Captain Rex on Rhaegar. Horneo on Blaze. We got Hirath on Lunara. We got Drakia on Muradin and Maitrai on Sylvanas. Over on the right side of the map, we got Sven playing Brightwing, the Raiders with Uki on Dehaka. We got Gia on Falstead, Galaxy playing Imperius, and as you can see, no game, no life on Junkrat. So, I mean, you can make the argument that they're a little bit on the squishy side on the red team, but again, their globals allow them to play a big macro game if they really want to. And that is honestly something that I have my eye on a little bit, because if they can make that properly work for themselves, that would be pretty fantastic. Already in the early game, they're looking for kills here, though. I mean, if you get kills, even better. But they are the ones that can play around the opponent a little bit. And if that works out for them, that would be the absolute dream. So we'll see if they can make that happen. For now, they got Falstad already on the side. Hakani, they can split. And this is a very different style from what they've been playing so far. So I kind of like that they're going for this. And if this works, if they can also, besides just going for team fights, play the macro game, then it would really help them. Gia, the juke master, but you can only juke so many abilities. At some point, it's just a little bit too much and he gets killed. But yeah, still pretty good effort. Dodged out on most of the ability, but then eventually it was too much for him to handle. They're still bringing this back a bit though. And oh, talking about bringing it back. Look at Junkrat, nicely done. Gets the boop on Rhaegar, and that's the kill. Rhaegar down. And with that, we now have a lead, actually, a bit of a leading experience for the Raiders. Falstad even flying in here, as they're hoping to get a follow-up kill on Lunara too, which hasn't happened, but they got the early level 3, nothing crazy yet, of course. And no game, no life. Pausing the game, the tactical 3-2-3 pause, everybody. Oh boy, what is going on here? So, I assume that we're only having a couple of issues here. Didn't seem like anybody actually dropped out of the game, so that would mean that all they gotta deal with is, well, some Discord issues or something like that. It's usually voice. It's somebody dropping in voice or having a bit of a problem with that, or peripherals like mice making a move. Then again, we have somebody here with a bit of a potato PC, so that could also be the cause. But yeah, either way, as the game starts, we haven't really seen a whole lot happen, of course. 1 kill on each side, slightly inexperienced. That pretty much doesn't really matter for the red team. But the potential for them to really play around the macro. And I want to see if they can make that work, because we had a couple of moments, especially in Battlefield of Eternity, where they jumped the gun, where they just went a little bit too hard. We're very trigger happy around certain engages, and that can be a problem. But if they can play this slow, calm and collected, that would be fantastic. Sylvanas is finding herself in a bit of a pickle here for just a moment. And here comes the jet propulsion. Yeah, they're getting baited in a bit deep. It's an interesting situation, because every single time we're seeing anybody flip here, they're trying to put somebody else into a corner. And this time it was literally Sylvanas that ends up being surrounded by the entire red team. That's of course the beauty when you're playing this many globals. You can easily turn this into a numeric advantage. And that's a kill. Kill number 2. Junkrat! And he gets out. So Junkrat gets out. They're still pushing the bot lane a bit further. Yep. And can they do a little bit more here? I mean, as it stands, they're looking good. A bit of action happening in the middle of the map too, as the team is attempting to capitalize on the extra camp that they took a bit earlier. So yeah, if they can make a play here, that would also be pretty neat. But it looks a bit unlikely right now. I mean, either way, down to the bottom of the map, next moves are being made as the next tribute is also about to spawn. So, yep, we got... Well, it's actually the first one. We got a camp about to be taken. Or is it? Brightwing. That was close. A little bit too close. But with Brightwing now coming in with the shift, this could very well be an easy tribute for Dracula and his boys. I mean, this looks like it's going to be a freebie. The camp was taken, is now moving through the middle, and they are moving topside with pretty much everybody they have. But look how low everyone is here. That's not only true for Junkrat, but also for Falstad. So, yes, Muradin will get the easy channel. And nobody goes for it. I mean, yes, they got globals, but those globals have no hit points right now. So I'm a bit flabbergasted by the fact that the blue team isn't taking that. I mean, they had vision. So it's not like this was a secret or anything. They didn't even try. The Haka is now moving in, pretty much thinking, hey, if nobody of your team is trying to get the tribute, then don't mind me. I'm going to give it a shot. That's not working out. But the Raiders had now time to recover some of their hit points. Finally, there's an attempt, but now Falstad is here and he goes for the interrupt. So now we have a real battle on our hands. And that's also true for the top lane, where Galaxy and Sven are still in a fight with Lunara and Rhaegar. So, yeah, things are shifting pretty quickly here, with the Cats taking a tiny lead in experience now, so they're at least not falling behind on that account. Sylvanas is in the middle and trying to do her thing with a split push, but that didn't really work yet either. Might try. Don't tell me he's gonna get soloed here. Ooh, close call, my friend. Yeah, that could have been bad. If he gets that cooldown just a second earlier, it's going to be a kill. Now, down here, the battle for tribute number 1 still happening. Chattering teeth always makes me smile. Like, that is such a dumb ability and such a dumb talent, but it's so fucking funny. And I mean, kind of useful too. But just the idea of it is ridiculous. So, level 9 on both sides. Teams are attempting to make the play for the early level 10. Up towards the top. They're losing a bit more ground. And Falstad is flying up now too. They want that kill. They want Lulnara. And they get her. Bambi is down. They were even trying to go for Commissar Rex here, but couldn't drop him. So, level 10 abilities, we're gonna have the first tribute taken when teams have level 10. That's what we're looking at now, which is ridiculous. So yes, Brightwing is still at the top. It's a support battle between the two teams. And here's a level 10. So that gives us, again, the Wrath of Angarius. Junkrat hasn't made a move yet, but Riptire would be what we expect. And yes, we get exactly that. As at the same time, Ancestral has been chosen. Bambi is going for a little bit of jumpy. And now that they're making another play for the top fort, the red team is invading with force, but doesn't get a single kill. They were shifting their targets a little bit too much. Half of them were trying to go for Rhaegar, and the other half were aiming at Sylvanas. So now another stun, and there's the kill against Brightwing. Brightwing down, couldn't jump out, but they're also going for Rhaegar. The supports are just dropped, but the tribute is finally channeled. So 4 kills to 2. Hirath able to get the tribute for the blue team. And again, this is match point. So for the cats, it's important that they are not blowing this. And they are still making some plays down here at the bottom of the map. Brightwing helping out as, yeah, Blaze finds himself on the side of the wall that, yeah, he definitely doesn't want to be there. That's the problem if you go a bit too deep against Junkrat. So nicely done. They get the kill. Blaze is dead too. He nearly got a kill himself, but Brightwing reappearing made that impossible. It's a bit of a weird game. It's honestly a little bit wild when you think about the kills that we just saw. But, well, it is what it is. Rhaegar is going for a camp, so he's working on the next one. At the same time, Sylvanas is hoping to take another structure down, but this time Gia moves in quickly. And the Haka too? Not sure if that was needed. I mean, both of the globals have now been used. Did they coordinate that because they wanted to go for the boss, or did they go for boss because both of their globals kind of just went for it? That's the bigger question here. Now, it's noteworthy that there's another tribute up and they're trying to interrupt this. Nobody is checking the boss, so this is actually working out nicely for the Raiders. There's no boss play made at the bottom of the map. As long as Brightwing survives here, they're going to be fine, but Brightwing survives. There's the channel attempt. That doesn't work out. Boss has been taken now, and they're trying to make a play for Rhaegar. And if he connects us... yeah, Rhaegar's dead. Rhaegar is dead. Pretty much the entire team is here now. So they get the second tribute. Good for... Well, they don't even do that. they will get it eventually. So they're going to get the second tribute, but I'm not so sure about that top lane. Falstad is already dealing with all of that pressure in the middle. They got a level 13 talent advantage now. Topside boss is pushing in. They're trying to get value at the bottom of the map. Mirrodin is now also making a play here, and I guess he's just trying to get a kill on Lunara. Nearly made that happen. Brightwing is back to business, and all of a sudden it's Dracula who's in deep shit. Down goes Lunara, Falstad with a gust, and that should be the end of Mirrodin eventually. They might still pluck the chicken and get the drop on Falstad, but as it turns out, it is another Blaze kill. No, he gets out too. But as all of this happens, it's still a kill against Lunara. And topside fort has nearly been destroyed. 7 kills to 2, level lead. And the red team is behind in tributes, but outside of that, they're ahead on every single account here. So this is honestly getting pretty difficult to handle for the blue team, because if they don't pay attention here and really start a comeback soon, then the momentum train could very well turn from a snowball into an avalanche and roll over them. They're making a play for the bottom boss now, but if the Raiders pay even a bit of attention, they're going to either invade this or at least get value somewhere else on the map, and it seems like that's what's going on now, but since they are focusing on the fort in the middle of the map. So yes, the boss at the bot lane is going to be taken, but it comes definitely at a big hit point cost on the fort mid side. So boss is claimed. Mirrodin is already attempting to help out here. Jump, Stormbolt misses. Yeah. Dracula, he's the new Nomi. He definitely is. But the boss has now... They gotta focus on the boss now. So, by no means are the cats out of this. But they are definitely struggling a bit with what's going on here. Which is a bit memey. So, yeah, you gotta be careful at this point in time. I'm not sure how they're going to handle this right now. This could very well get dangerous very, very quickly. Because the fort is down. Each team has now destroyed one fort. But level 16, that's the big concern here. And that's the big problem. So now that they have level 16, this could be a big issue. But alright. Alright. Let's see. What can they do with this? I mean, this is tribute number 2, so I don't think that anybody is going to fight for this for obvious reasons. I mean, how you're going to do that if your opponent has a talent advantage over you? The answer is you just simply don't. And, well, with that, here we go. We got another channel. Well, camps are at least taken. Already? Oh, Lunara! Insta-kill. Stun and dropped. No chance, girl. She gets absolutely crushed. Doesn't even have a prayer here. Now False is pushing the bot lane out. With that lean experience, even if they can bridge over to level 16, in the long run, I'm a bit worried about it. The global plays are really paying off for them. You can say whatever you want, but so far they've not made any huge mistakes that would come back to bite them. The Raiders are doing a great job with this. They're now escorting the next camp in. It's 2 tributes to 2. Level 16 will be ready for the blue team for the fight. So this is going to be the big team fight, because this is a curse one way or another. No matter who gets it, one team is going to get a curse. But the Haka is pushing the top lane out a little bit, trying to extend that lead even further. And there's tons and tons of interrupts, of course, available. Then again, look who gets caught. Galaxy's in trouble. Brightwing trying to come in for the save, but that just results in Sven also dying, I assume. Galaxy is dead, so is Brightwing, and they are getting dumpstered in this fight. Everybody dead or dying. The Ancestral already out. Rest of the team makes it out for a moment, but in comes the Bambi flank. And this is nearly a team wipe. 4 heroes falling, and that's a curse and a big, big push. That is not looking good at all, everybody. Big fight. Now they go for the keep, and they might just go for core with this one as well. They got the entire team here, and it's another 10 seconds until Brightwing is back. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. Nice check on the tongue. But yes, structures are falling all over the place. So Falstad, once that he's back, will also have his gust, but I think it's already going to be too late in the move. There's also no counter damage. So now it's 3 heroes that defend. They can try and buy some time for the birdie, but the core's down to 20. And that is it. We're going to game number 5, everybody. The Cats, they take Cursed Hollow, and we're going to go to the final map in this best of 5 series. GG. Game number 3, Dragonshire is our 5th map. So they went for Dragonshire here. And we get the final match between the 2 teams. Match point. Essentially they reduced this to a best of 1 now. So curious to see who takes it. Unfortunate for the Raiders. Great for Cats fans. What happened on Cursed Hollow. Imperius gets caught with his pants down pretty much. Brightwing comes in to attempt and save him, but all that happens is that both of them die. And then it spirals out of control, and the entire team, with the exception of the Haka, gets killed, and the curse is taken, and that ends the game. So, yeah, these late game decisions around some of the team fights that you have there, still making it problematic for them. But an interesting series, and a very close one too. And again, there's a lot on the line, right? You want to go to Miami. The main event has $11,000 in prize money. But just the trip to Miami itself is already a big win. And from the 3 teams that we have, you also got to understand that pretty much nobody there has a lot of offline experience. So for them it would be pretty huge, not only to go to the US and go to Miami, but also to attend an offline event with international attendance. So Diablo gets banned. I mean, pretty much at this point, they're just banning Diablo and Lucio, whatever happens. Those are the 2 that they are trying to get rid of. Now, we got Hogger banned out on Dragonshire, and we got also the Hanzo ban, which means at the top lane, you're mostly looking at Dehaka, you're looking at Urel, you're looking at potential Leo, Rexa, obviously, and Blaze, of course. But they prioritize Sylvanas over the side laner. Huge priority on her right now. I expected a side laner. That's normally what you want to get, what you would get there. But yep, let's have a look at what exactly the red team is getting now. Especially the side laner is going to be important here. Now Blaze is of course the go-to in most cases, but again this is Dragonshire, so Rexa becomes interesting as an option at least. And there he is. Rexa, the king of Dragonshire, gets taken again. One of the best side laners for this particular map because of the objective. Normally on pretty much any other map, you would instantly go for either Dehaka or for Blaze, mostly Blaze. Dehaka depending a bit on how big the map is and what you're actually looking for. But there's Blaze taken by the cats. And now they also need somebody like Genji, exactly, there he is, that can help them to gank up on the side lane at the top and put pressure on Rexxar so that he can't dominate the objective completely. So just the pick alone makes it already a bit more dangerous for Rexxar to venture out too deep onto the lane, because if they don't have vision on Genji, then at any point he could try to come in and attempt to get a quick kill against Rexxar here. So I already like what's happening here. Now Brightwing is mitigating this to an extent, so as soon as you see that something's happening here, you can move in and help out with that. At the same time, we have a ban on Anduin, so that Genji cannot be assisted with the light bomb on top of all of this too. Just trying to take the sting out of that comp. But I mean, this is gonna get real wild now. So they ban out Sergeant Hammer, but we still have Junkrat open that you could go for. Yeah, if they wanted to, they could play Junkrat again, especially of course at that bot lane. So that is a huge option for them now. I guess technically you have Falstad here. If you want to play around the global, you can do it here too. We've seen it plenty of times. Don't think that anybody is gonna go for like any kind of triple with the Haka here.
The crusade calls.
Wait, what? We get Zagara! Alright. Ooh. I mean, Zagara, she has a huge amount of push power. The problem is that Zagara has pretty much no hit points. Like, she usually gets completely murdered. Now, we've had Dainu play with the Zagara depending on the map a little bit. I think he played her on Brexis once or twice. And again, you have a lot of push power, but the problem with Zagara she just dies within seconds. They really need to communicate well here. Now, she can gain you a lot of vision. She can be really annoying to play against, but the farther she ventures out on the map, the easier it is to gank up on her and take her down. So that is quite the pick. I mean, I did not see that one coming at all. In competitive play, Zagara usually gets punished hard. And they're going up against Genji and Sylvanas. There's also a lot of stuff that they have on the blue team side that can reveal creep tumors. So guys, Dragonshire, map number 5, and the Raiders are coming in with the Zagara pick on the final map. Let's see how it plays out. The Cats against the Raiders. It comes down to the final map, and it is a Dragonshire. And, well, the Raiders with the balls of steel going for Zagara against Genji on the final map. Quite the pick here. Dracula and Muradin for the blue team. We got Maitri on Genji. He's gonna go hunting. Hornio, Mr. Octon Blaze, Captain Rex on Rega. We got Hireth on Sylvanas. And on the right side, it's Sven on Brightwing. Galaxy on Johanna, Gia on Maiev, No Game No Life on Zagara, and Uki on Rexxar. Now once again, Rexxar obviously, oh, pleb mount, I hate it. We have an absolutely unique and fantastic mount now. Unique and epic mount, so unique, so epic, and he's not picking it. Instead he goes for the pleb lizard. I don't like that at all. But yeah, Rexxar is obviously really good on this map because with Misha, he can always control the lane and the objective at the same time. Other heroes can't do that in the same style, so you need to gank up on him. Your solo laner will lose the objective eventually unless the Rexxar player seriously misplays. It's one of the reasons why he's called the King of Dragonshire. It's one of the reasons why this is one of the very, very few maps where you see him picked these days, and the main map where he gets picked. But with heroes like Genji and others, you can of course put extra pressure onto him and take him down a notch or two. And the objective isn't up yet. But my eyes are really on Zagara here, because she's a hero that allows you a lot of pressure and can allow you to take structures down very quickly. But again, she doesn't have a whole lot of hit points, has no real escape tool outside of creep, and there's lots and lots of abilities on the blue team side that can take creep down. Zagara is one of those heroes that is exceptionally good when you're playing in Wood League, because as long as you know how to use a minimap and you are just diligent and disciplined with your creep spread, you can pretty much, you more or less have a legal map hack. Because Wood League players just don't deal with creep tumors. But at this level of play, whenever creep is on the map, people are very, very quick to try and deal with it and make sure that there's no extra vision for the opponent's team. So Zagara not really the most popular pick. If you can make her work, then she can be glorious. But can they against this draft? That's the bigger question. I mean, look at this. My try, he didn't even have to try. And he already has her down to 50% HP. Now they might just get this one, though. And they do. Easy Dragonite, 2 minutes in. Easiest Dragonite of their life. Now, he's not going to do a lot of damage here, but he might be able to open up the wall. If you get a 2-minute Dragonite, it's not really that dangerous. Didn't scale too well. But yep, here we are. A lot of damage at the top lane also done as the teams were going for the big fight over the shrine, but it didn't really work out. What Brightwing now has to do is to just keep the Dragonite alive and play around the Dragon's Breath. One of the worst things that you can do with an early... Yeah, Zagara is down against Genji. Oh, not even close! Not even close! Ah! Get wrecked! That's what you get for just like sitting around there and acting like your shit doesn't stink. Come on, dude. Like, first of all, such a clutch kill there. And then just sitting around for Jojo to take you out. But I was just about to talk about how the Dragonite, if you get an early Dragonite like this, if you get one at like the 2-3 minute mark, don't go for the auto attacks too hard. If you can, while the towers are focusing on minions, then obviously go for it. But the more important part is really try to keep the Dragonite alive for as long as you can and play around the Dragon's Breath. Just use the Dragon's Breath over and over again against minion waves and stuff, against structures, and that's the best value that he can get. Zagara gets focused and immediately dies again. They're also trying to go for Gia. Brightwing, a little bit too late, and that's a double kill. Zagara and Maiev are both dead. And the camp is stolen. So what started off with a good move by the Raiders as they get the objective, and also the counter kill on Genji is now turning against them as they lose 2 heroes. That's 3-1 in total. And the Cats are using the camp to break through their bot lane. Okay. But again, this is the big problem. Zagara got focused again. She was a little bit too deep and it gets killed right away. So they need to somehow try and keep her alive, and it will be tricky. But this is the early game. We'll see if she has a few plays in the later stages that help out here. So far, it is a leading experience for the Cats, and they're also now trying to make a couple of moves in the middle of the map with Mai Try and Drak here. But as the talents come in, we got the Bile Drop on level 1, we got the Corpse Feeders. Camps are about to be taken again. Vision, of course, always granted through those creep tumors, so they have at least a bit of an idea of what's going on here. Despite the fact that the Cats have been quite well, yeah, they're getting it now. Rhaegar needs his shield again in order to take this one out, and there it is. So he goes for Lightning Shield, gets one eliminated, gets another one. You gotta make sure that you take these creep tumors down, or your opponent is at some point gonna have a Jaedong-like creep spread, and it's just watching the entire map. Genji got a bit bounced around here, ping pong to the left and right, and that is the end of him. So bye bye Genji. We now have still a half-level lead for the Cats, but of course it's a 4 versus 5 now, and that allows an invade on the Siege Giant camp by the red team, and the Raiders are taking it away. Bit of a rotate. Oh, careful, Sylvanas! That is a last-second wave that allowed her to get away. Could have been a kill, and that would have been bad news, but at least they have the Shrine. And this is a wild game. That's level 10, 3 kills to 2 at the 5-minute mark. Right wing all alone at the top against Blaze, but yes, this game is getting a little bit bonkers here. Gia with the camp to be taken, so they go for the Bruiser camp now. A bit more control for them would help to maybe even take the top lane down a notch. But they also have to make sure that they're protecting the Dragonite a bit further, and Misha is doing exactly that. Yeah, helping out a lot. Okay, there we go. Zagara is reclaiming the bot lane shrine control. They have everybody else now up at the top. No Game No Life already knows fully well that he has to retreat here. He's going to be the prime target. And Genji is already saying hello. Brightwing with the immediate assist. They're still fine up at the top. But now they have 4 heroes at the bot lane in full control again, as they're starting to rotate some of their heroes into the middle to go for a second Dragonite, which so far isn't really working out because Muradin is also there, so Drakia is making sure that this isn't happening just yet. But Blaze is not going to take this back anytime soon. He has to deal with all of this, unless of course Rexa is just simply disappearing. But yeah, still fighting this out. Sylvanas retakes the bot lane. And they might get a kill. Blessed shield. Not really sold on that one. That ult might not necessarily have been needed. Right wing again has to help Zagara out. So it's this constant pressure against her. That is a real problem for them. So Zagara's still alive. There's the Maw. Yep. Big wailing arrow. And Zagara still alive but about to die. They go for Brightwing, they go for the rest. They can't get another kill here, but they are able to take Zagara down. And oh boy, they may have gone a little bit too deep here. Sylvanas is doing their best to allow them to go for the fort and go for additional kills. Brightwing about to fall. Galaxy also low, and the cats are showing their claws. Nice. Drakia pausing the game to, probably clap himself on the shoulder a little bit for Stormbolt's well hit. Not sure if anybody dropped here, but it doesn't seem like it. But they are going for a big play here. So they just got 3 kills. They dropped Zagara, Johanna, and also Brightwing. And now they are about to take the bottom 4 too. There's nobody that can prevent that from happening because Maiev just moved back. And yes, she popped at the fountain. But it's going to... I mean, again, Gia is not suicidal. He's not going to commit Sudoku by simply moving now into 4 heroes that could easily lock him down with another Stormbolt. And all of that burst of damage, so that's not happening. Right now, the cats, they are coming in. The pause of dominance here by the cats is also lingering on. In regards to the damage, we have 16,000 now by Maiev. Zagara is 14k, a little bit behind Rexa. As we have 16,000 for Sylvanas, 16,000 for Genji. Yeah, this is a bit dicey. 3 kills against Zagara already, so unless they are somehow able to turn the momentum, I mean, I have my doubts. I'm gonna be honest here. I do not like that Zagara pick at all, not even a little bit. Talked about it a bit during the draft, but you are up against Sylvanas and about Genji. There's a lot of mobility, Murden can jump on you, and you are just insanely squishy. So I just don't see it right now. I think the Raiders outplayed them a little bit. Yeah, outplayed themselves a little bit, sorry. So Genji, he's having fun. He's having a good time there. And now they are working on their first objective, on their first Dragonite, and Sylvanas is gonna get it. Sylvanas with the DK, and that allows them to now go a bit more and harder through the middle here. Always, again, focus on the Dragon's Breath. Use that as much as you possibly can. And let's see what they can do. You currently got top side. Oops, Rexa is also dead. Genji came in with a Swift Strike here too. Mirrodin is zoning them away from the top structure. And the Dragonite is still using one Dragon's Breath after another in the middle of the map. Zagara has attempted to burn the DK down, but the top fort has already been destroyed, so that bad boy is gone. That's the second fort that they were able to drop. And now they're moving straight back towards the mid lane, but the final fort might also fall depending on how they play this one out. So, yeah, here we are. And by the way, he went on level 4 into the Animal Husbandry. So Rexa just dying reset that one too, which is another big problem for them. So we are back to pretty much 0 value on the level 4. And if he times that properly down here, this could be another quick kill. Mirrodin gets mauled. And the rest of the red team is now moving in too, but so is Sylvanas. That was a nice one. And the Ancestral is just in time, thanks to the bunker. That was sick city. The fuck is happening? Triple kill, baby. They get a triple. Guys, they didn't lose anybody. It looked for a moment like somebody died on the blue team, but it didn't happen. Went into the bunker. Check this one out. So good. They bunker up and that saves Blaze, and then they get multiple kills just behind it. Crazy shit. 3 kills and the Raiders are getting absolutely snowballed. 9 kills to 2, 2 level lead, every single fort destroyed. And boy, oh boy. The red team was ahead with a 2-1. Missed the match point on Cursed Hollow, and now the cats are coming back with a vengeance. An absolute vengeance. All the camps on the map are about to be taken by the blue team. They're literally painting the minimap blue, and it is a nightmare for the Raiders. An absolute nightmare right now. They're trying at the top. No game, no life. Stalling out the lane a little bit, freezing it as best he can, but still, of course, attempting to deal with the camp. Needs to take it down on the bridge of death here. But with a double camp push, the blue team is looking for another big hit. They're coming in down through the bot lane now, opening that wall up. That should be a given. But let's see what else they can do. So yes, here we are. We already have 2-level advantage. The stats lead alone is great for the cats in this push. Siege Giants and the catapult, plus a couple of remaining from the bruiser camp. And even if they don't go for the keep here, just the fact alone that they already opened this up fully is a big win. Now they're taking another Siege Giant camp here and steal it away. But the next objective is now up, and this is just nasty stuff. Only 2 deaths against the blue team. It's Genji who died twice, going a bit too deep. 1 Mimi death against the the thingy from Johanna. What's it called? The flashlight. I'm inting right now. In my head is jet propulsion. That's a different hero. That's Blaze. I could cheat by looking at the talent, but it's coming to me in a second. I'm not looking at it. The fuck is this shit called? I'm not looking it up. I'm not looking at the talents. I refuse. It blinds you. That push is, by the way, dangerous. Okay, I'm cheating. Fucking hell! The shield clear! Yeah, there we go. Shield clear, of course. Like, what else would it be? I knew it the entire time. I was just trying to make this interesting for you guys. Alright. So, we got a 2-level lead. Dragonite push at the bottom of the map. Misha is already dead. I mean, that's half your damage gone. The Dragonite is also inting a little bit too hard. Genji thinks that he's still in Genji form. I have no idea why Mitra just wasted it like this. I mean, he literally went into keep range. Just keep range for no reason. It's like, dude, if you hold the Dragonite, you know, I mean, he apparently didn't realize what's going on here. It's like, wait, I'm the Dragonite? I was trying to go deep as usual. I mean, that was a wasted Dragonite I've ever seen one. Nice reaction by Rexa here. That was a good one too. But he's still dead. Brightwing 2. So yes, they're gonna get that keep regardless, and I think they can't change the outcome of that game either. But Genji just wasted that Dragonite. Like, he has another 3 just in the back and has to get him out of his pocket. So there's the Zagara kill. 13 kills to 2. This is all she wrote, boys. The keep is gonna fall. They might go for the core here. They likely will. And if not, then they can just destroy another keep here without even a problem. Obviously, we got now Jojo with the blind trying to slow them down a little bit, but Galaxy, he's not going to make that work for them. Yeah, it's a 3-2 victory. The Cats, they made it. They went for the comeback. They were able to pull it off, and therefore the first best of 5 in this double round robin goes to the Cats as they take down the Raiders. GG, well played.